Let's call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Malumbi.
Here.
Jerza. Osterloo.
Here.
Genslinger.
Here.
Sonny.
Here.
Penny. Bosher.
Here.
Larson.
Here.
Good quorum.
Thank you. Agenda has been provided in the packet of information. Does anyone have a conflict with any of the proposed items on that agenda? Hearing none, let's move to the agenda. Do I hear a motion to approve as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded that the agenda be approved as presented. Discussion. Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Minutes of the previous meeting of the 9th of May were also provided in the packet of information. Any additions or corrections to those minutes that anyone has noticed?
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded that the minutes be approved as presented. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. The blanket for the next meeting, the next regularly scheduled meeting will be the 13th of June. Do I hear a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded that the blanket be approved for the 13th of June. Discussion. Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Plan approval, Hackberry Holdings, LLC, 915 South Kimball Highway Business District. I think that's holdover from last meeting.
That's correct. It was tabled at the last meeting. Right after the meeting, Joe met with them out at site, so I'll let him go over anything.
Yep. Well, when we left the meeting Monday, we went out on site and we looked at everything. We talked about the project, we talked about sidewalk and future layout. And I believe when we left that meeting, everyone was in agreement that the sidewalk would be installed. And I guess as far as Public Works is concerned, we think everything's a go, and I haven't heard anything different.
On the screen is an updated that shows kind of the green space for where they're going to keep green as opposed to parking lot for in the future. I was just given that right before the meeting. Applicants here if you have any questions for them at all.
You have anything to tell us?
Vanessa Clock on behalf of Hackberry Holdings and Clockworks. The only thing that you're correct, Joe, we did meet, we're all on the same page, we have an agreement as far as the sidewalks go, so if everybody's okay with what we're proposing, then we're good to go.
Okay. Do I hear a motion of approval?
I'll make the motion.
Questions of the person
Yeah, or
here?
anything if you have questions.
Yeah.
I'll make the motion.
Moved and seconded that we approve as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded that we approve as presented.
Thank you.
Discussion on the motion.
That was basically our concern was the sidewalk part.
Yep.
Right,
Well, we
nothing
couldn't-
else?
My understanding was we couldn't say one way or the other because the sidewalk is a council thing that has to happen, so, and as long as everybody's happy with what's going on, I see no reason not to vote in favor.
Yeah, that's all it was. Yeah,
Yep.
I agree.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yep. Moved and seconded that the plan as presented at the last meeting and reiterated in the information that we have in our packet be approved as presented. Is there discussion on that motion? Hearing none, I assume we're ready to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carried. Next item on the agenda is a variance. Dara Valesky at 409 East 7th has applied for a front yard setback of 19 feet versus 25 for a front porch addition located at 409 East 7th Avenue, legally described as Block 4, Burris Edition, City of Mitchell, Davidson County, South Dakota. Said real property is zoned R2 single family. Somebody want to tell us what's going on there, Mark?
Yep, notices were sent out to the neighbors, published in the paper. You had 4 responses in favor. In your packet, there was 1 opposed that I put in front of you before the meeting. Tara is remodeling the house there. There's a 3-foot overhang existing that sticks over the steps. She would like to remove that and put a 6-foot deep overhang over the steps. Images she showed me this morning, it's going to be a cantilevered overhang, no posts going to the ground. Tara's here if you have any questions for her at all.
Ms. Valesky, do you have any comments to tell us about?
Whoops, I'm not supposed to talk. Yeah, if you have any questions, it's going to beautify the neighborhood. It'll make it look very nice. And I don't know, who was the one that was opposed? I'm in shock.
412.
Maybe they're afraid their property taxes are going to go up.
Coates, 412 East 6.
Cokes, 412. I don't know, but it was a really in bad shape, the house, and I'm fixing it up. It'll look very nice, so.
So all you're doing basically, as I understand it, instead of a 4-foot, 3-foot, 4-foot.
Instead of-
Yeah, it's going to go across, so it'll look, because I'm getting it all brand-new siding, the LP siding, put a new roof on, new front door, windows, so it'll look nice. The house looks, it'll look much more eye-appealing to the neighborhood and street. And it'll be a 16-foot porch going across instead of that little deal right there.
Question? Not an enclosed porch? just-
Nope. Nope, just to tie it in with the house.
Do I hear a motion? Move to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded that the variance be approved as presented. Actually, is not going to really impact anything.
Thank you.
except the overhang. Is there discussion on the motion?
Well, I guess you said something about, is there going to be a concrete stoop out there? Is that what this over
No,
there?
that'll be covered, that's gone. I'm just gonna put the porch over it, what's it called? Like cedar, either cedar or whatever. It'll go 16 feet and then out like 5 or 6 feet with that overhang.
So that's what's going to stick out too with over, okay.
Yeah,
Okay, okay. Otherwise, it just
otherwise it'll look really
it
stupid.
just sounded like you were going to just put an overhang on there.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, it'll all tie in.
All right,
I've been planning this for months.
okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Further discussion? Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is a plan approval for Weber Holdings LLC at 1303 South Alden Highway Business District. Mark, what's going on there?
Weber Holdings presented this drawing for their layout for 1303 North Omen, which would be just north of Motel 6 is the location of that. You can see that in the GIS area of it. He's proposing to do some self-storage sheds in the back portion. The front is going to be a couple of buildings for him and his son to do some work in, and then another big steel storage shed for his personal camper. You can see there's 85 total units is what he's proposing for the storage units. He's got it drawn out for using the existing ingress and egress for there. He knows that there's some drainage issues in that area. He's been trying to get a hold of a surveyor or engineer to come up with all of that. Since it's over 1 acre and there's existing drainage issues in the area, we request that it's approved contingent on a civil survey stamp drawings with it. Also, it'd have to be conditional use for the storage sheds. He's here if you have any questions for him at all.
City staff? Got any issues?
No, just like Mark said, we'll require a drainage plan that's stamped by a civil engineer.
Would the property owner like to talk to us? Further explain, perhaps?
I won't really until I get engineers to do something. I really, just a standstill.
Okay,
But that's all it's gonna be, is a couple little retail buildings up front and then a shop that's probably do some welding and off-season store my motorhome in.
okay. Any questions? Do I hear a motion with the contingency that the city be approving the drainage plan?
I'd make that motion. I'll second.
Moved and seconded that we approve the proposed plan, subject to the engineering division going along with what's proposed on the ground. It looks like it fit in the neighborhood okay. Discussion.
So he needs to come back then for conditional use permit?
Yeah, you'd have to come back for a conditional use permit,
Okay,
which,
shouldn't be a big deal, because it's going to fit with what's going on out there anyway. All right, we have a motion, we have a second. We haven't had discussion on the motion. We are ready for a vote. Let's go roll call on this one. Mark, please.
Malumbi,
Yes.
Osterloo,
Yes.
Genslinger,
Yes.
Sonny. Yes. Larson,
Yes,
motion carried.
thank you. Let's go to number 10, a plat of tract 2 in the southwest quarter of section 13, 104 north, range 60 west of the 5th parallel meridian, Davidson County, South Dakota, as requested by Gregory Lang.
This is outside the ETJ, but still it's within the 3-mile city limits. Greg Clamp owns this big parcel. They're selling it to Hetlands, which own this L-shaped parcel. County will hear it at their next meeting, which will be the first and second Tuesday of the month. There's already an access off of 407 and also off of 247 and 405. There's already approaches there for that.
Doesn't look like there's going to be any issues with that rascal either. It's going to fit in the county's size.
Yeah, they're going to farm it. They're not going to be putting a residence on it or anything, so they won't need a variance for that. And it's also over the 25 acres that if they were putting a residence on it, they'd be fine. It'll meet all county restrictions.
Do I hear a motion to approve? So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded that the plat be approved as presented. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Plan approval. Patrick's at 417 North Sanborn Neighborhood Shopping District. This is another plat for us that's rather unusual shape.
Yep. So the applicant came in. He'd like to bring in a building and do a drive-through service there. He'll have to have one more exit off of there. He currently has ingress. We'll need an egress for it. Staff parking will be in the backside. This used to be Boyd's place. He purchased it from Boyd Reimnitz. It's just south of Domino's. It does connect to the alleyway, so he does have access to the backside for the alleyway if he needs it as well. The fence line would be right through here. Employee parking, everybody comes around here. Again, we request that if it is approved, that it's contingent on stamped drawings with it as well. The applicant is here so he can give a little bit more information to what the business is going to be.
Would you like to talk to us, please?
Good afternoon, fellas. My name is Patrick Haynes. The plan I'm
proposing here is just to put a little drive-through coffee snack restaurant. The turning radius is almost double of what you would look at other restaurants and coffee shops in town here, so I don't see any problem with the size issue. The improvements to the property represent well less than 10% of the total land area, so there's not going to be any drainage issues. I put a 2% grade to drain the water from the potential driveway area towards the street, and those are the only issues that I can think of.
Any questions for this gentleman?
Yeah, what happens if you have a hell of good business there? Where are they gonna wait to go into this place? It's all from Sandpoint, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I limited that access because I felt that there might be some problem with exiting through the alleyway there. I believe that there's quite a few cars parked that are much longer than the actual land area that's allowed there, so there is going to be some blockage there. As far as the volume of traffic, that's quite unpredictable.
I guess from the building permit side, since this is a commercial property, we'll require that grades be set and those types of items from a professional civil engineer, so he'll need stamp drawings for that, just so we can verify that the drainage is not being drained on adjoining property owners and those types of things. We will not allow ingress, egress from the alley for patrons, if at all possible.
The only opposition I'm trying to point out here from a common sense point of view is that the improvements there don't really represent any difference in as far as how the water is drained from that area. And using a professional engineer at a cost of nearly $12,000 will make this project unobtainable to me. So if that it was going to be a rider on there, then I'll just withdraw my thing, and you guys can find another place, another fella that wants to come in there. Or you could purchase the property from me. I believe that's landowners' rights.
Okay, you're asking for a plat approval.
No, not a plat, plan. Just a plan approval.
Yeah.
I don't know that we have the authority to waive the requirements that Joe needs.
Is that actually a requirement stated in law, written someplace? Because I can't find it.
Yeah, it's in the ordinance that it's required.
Okay, I wasn't aware of that.
I mean, what you would be approving is just the plan itself, the concept. You know, just like we did with the last one, it was approved contingent on, because like you said, there's money that goes into having to go to a surveyor engineer to have it drawn out. So you want to make sure that it's viable, it's going to be approved for that before you start sticking more money into it. That's kind of the way we looked at the last one, it's the way we would look at this one as well.
Okay, I'm directly opposed to that, and if you're going to require that, then I'll just withdraw my plan and move out.
I would recommend that you approve the plan, and then we can handle what he does not approve of as far as the building permit with the building permit. So you can approve the plan, and if he eventually decides to not build it, then we just don't issue a building permit, and he does what he wants with the plans, or with the property.
Thank you. Do I hear a motion?
Second.
Moved and seconded that the plan be approved as presented, and work out the details of the building permit when the time comes. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. Let's go roll call again, please.
Oskaloof,
Yes.
Genslinger,
Yes.
Sonny,
Yes.
Malumbi,
Yes.
Larson.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, thank you.
Well, thank you, fellas, but I would like to study that a little bit more. I mean, that is a significant expense for a few lines, and I've visited with these local engineers here, and I've been nothing but let down. You could be talking about a 6 to 8 month delay.
We'll visit with the city staff and see if there can be some kind of compromise made there.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you now.
Yep. Is there any other business to come before this body at this time? Hearing none, we are ready for public input. If you need to address the City Planning Commission on an item that was not on the agenda excluding personnel items, please come forward to the podium and state your name and your concern. Presentations are limited to 3 minutes. Items will be considered, but no action will be taken at this time. Seeing no one come forward, we are adjourned until 13.